next team alphabetically here, and that's Auburn. And everybody can let us know in the comments what your prediction for Auburn is. To quickly go over their schedule, they start the season at Baylor. Then they host Ball State. Then they host South Alabama. Then they go to Oklahoma, and then to Texas. Texas A&M. Then they got a bye week to start October. Second week of October, they host Georgia. Then they host Missouri. Then they got to go to Arkansas. Then they host Kentucky. Then they got to go to Vanderbilt. Then their last bye week is pretty late, actually, because they only have 2 games left after that bye week. So their season is broken up 5-5 and 2. So they play 5 straight games, have a bye week, play 5 straight games, have a bye week, and then they end with hosting Mercer and hosting Alabama. What's your prediction, Rustin?
This is going to be an interesting season for Auburn. And I think Hugh Freeze is, in my opinion, he is quietly on the hot seat. I think he's got to produce something big here, and I'm not sure he's got the team to do it. I think this year, more than any other, home field is going to matter immensely in the SEC. And so I've got them starting out 3-0 and then losing 3 straight to Oklahoma, A&M, and Georgia. So they'll be 3-3. Then they get Missouri at home, and I think they will win that because it's in Jordan-Hare. But then I think they lose on the road at Arkansas. So that's 4-4. Then I think they beat a horrendous Kentucky team at home, 5-4. And then I think they go to Vanderbilt and Clark Lee gets Hugh Freeze fired.
Woo!
I'm telling you, I think there's going to be a huge priority put on home field advantage this year. And I've got Vanderbilt upsetting Auburn there, and Hugh Freeze gets fired. And then they split the last 2 with Mercer and Alabama and finish 6-6. And whoever gets to replace Hugh Freeze as the interim coaches in the Alamo Bowl or something like that.
Wow. So when they split with Mercer and Alabama, you think they lose to Mercer and beat Alabama?
Well, actually, as I was saying it, if Hugh Freeze gets fired against Vanderbilt, I could see them losing to Mercer too, honestly. But because it's at Auburn, I think they'll rally and win that. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a close game. So I've got them going 6-6, and Hugh Freeze gets fired after November 8th.
So I had literally all of this exact, y'all, we did not talk about this beforehand, but I had all of the exact same results except for Vanderbilt. I have them beating Vanderbilt. And so I've got them going 7-5. I got them going 7-5 because I do have them beating Vanderbilt. Man, if you're right though, if they end up losing at Vandy, Hugh Freeze may not make it back to Auburn after that.
The last time Diego Pavia came to Auburn, he was the starting quarterback at New Mexico State. Who won that game?
Yep. Some of the folks commenting their predictions here. Herb said 8-4. He thinks that Auburn's going to go 8-4. VFL in Texas said 7-5. Kevin said 7-5. Elijah said 8-4. Bionic Clay said 7-5 and Freeze is gone. Jonathan said 8-4. I could see 9-3. Elijah said I changed it to 7-5. Bobby said 8-4. So I'd be curious to know which ones we had them losing that folks have them winning. We both had them winning at Baylor, Ball State, and South Alabama. And you got to imagine after that, especially after beating Baylor, if that happens and they start 3-0, people are going to be like, woo, yeah. I mean, they're going to be like, this is our year. It's happening. And then they got to go to Norman, Oklahoma. And that's going to be very interesting.
I said that wrong, and now I'm even more confident in my Vanderbilt pick. I forgot Vandy did play Auburn last year, and they beat Auburn 17-7. So Diego Pavia is actually 2-0 against Hugh Freeze.